I need a drink.
Hey guys, this is Comics G-Man, and I had a pretty good night tonight. I went to see Spider-Man Brand New Day for the first time with a good friend, and I had a good night overall, but let me tell you what I think about the movie, and also just to let you know, this will have spoilers in it. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers, I recommend you wait to watch this until after you watch the video. Otherwise, to those of you who do decide to stay and listen, stay tuned and find out what I thought about this.
I want to drive my stick.
Okay, guys, so there's a lot to cover here. Now, to let you know, I stayed completely away from any videos or anything that was Spider-Man related this week. And I actually did not plan to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day. But one of my good friends was nice enough to invite me to see it. He bought these tickets for the opening day today on Friday. We went to see it. It was full. It was packed. We had 2 seats right on the D row, and it was a perfect, you know? So how did I feel about this movie? Now, as you all know, I already go in with a little bit of a bias because I do not like Tom Holland. I think he's overrated. I understand everyone loves Tom Holland. That's fine. I got nothing against it. But me personally, Tom does not invoke anything in me in his performances, if that's what you want to call it. But anyway, besides that, I didn't know what to expect with this movie. Didn't know who the big bad villain was going to be. I didn't know what the story was going to be about. I went in it totally like blank. I didn't even watch the trailers, honestly. I didn't read anything about this movie. So I didn't have any kind of expectations. I went in totally blind. So what do I have to say about this movie? Well, I hate to kind of burst your bubble, but I think it kind of sucked. Because I felt the same way that I felt when I had to go see Supergirl. So when I saw Supergirl, I couldn't wait for the movie to end. And throughout this movie, I was feeling the same way. I'm like, is it over yet? Are we getting to the point? What's the story here? What the fuck is this trying to do? I just felt like the story was totally dragged. It was overcomplicated. And they were pulling stuff out of their ass out of nowhere. And I wasn't feeling it at all. And I think the script suffers the same thing that X-Men 97 suffers from, although not as extreme as X-Men 97. I think it has too much writing, too much exposition, overly done dialogue. And again, it's trying to fit in too many people at once, giving everybody screen time. And it didn't even feel like a Spider-Man movie. Now, a lot of people obviously are going to love this movie, and I'm probably going to be one of few people who feel this way about the movie. But the fighting scenes were really good, but the fighting and the action scenes in this wasn't enough to make up for the fact that the story sucked. I didn't care about any characters in this. I didn't feel anything when you're supposed to feel something. And spoiler, which is, I guess is not really a spoiler. Although, to be honest with you, I've been hearing about this actress named Sadie something from Stranger Things. But I didn't know, like, I don't know who she was supposed to be. I literally, genuinely, I know no one is going to believe this, but, like, I figured out in the movie theaters, like, when it was revealing itself, I'm like, oh, is that Jean Grey? And obviously everyone on the internet already know who she was supposed to be. And I told you, I've been staying away from the Spider-Man stuff, so I didn't know what was going to be what in this. But I was like, oh, is this supposed to be Jean Grey? And I even figured it out before they showed her face. And for some reason, my brain was just like, is this Jean Grey? And I wasn't happy about this. I feel like Jean Grey is one of the worst X-Men characters and one of the worst Marvel characters. And the reason why I say that is because of how overused she is and how predictable and how annoying she is. It's like every time it's Jean Grey, I already know what they're gonna do with her. You know, like I have seen the character that she is basically is like almost as similar to like Raven's character, but Raven in DC Teen Titans, Raven has a way cooler backstory and is just a better character like all around. Jean is, you know, whatever I still, for the life of me, I can't understand why people are so infatuated with Jean. I mean, that's fine that you love her so much, but I think she's overused. I think she's boring. So this actress who played her, she didn't do anything for me because, and I'm not saying that it's the actress's fault, but how they've written this character to basically be the antagonist of Spider-Man, it just felt like completely out of nowhere. It just felt completely like, wait, this is it? This is what you're doing for this movie? I mean, and it teases you with like Scorpion in the beginning of the movie. You see Tombstone for 5 fucking minutes. I don't honestly remember what else happened in the beginning of the movie. It literally, like, I just forgot it even as I was watching it, because I was talking to my friend and he said, oh, what did you think about the part where they were showing him, like, positioning him to be like all the original comic book covers? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you already forgot about that? And I'm like, oh my God, I really don't know what you're talking about. And I had to really think about what he was talking about. And it just completely went over my head. I mean, I when I watched it at the moment, I was like, oh, they're doing that. Like when I saw him, when he was swinging, holding the guy, I'm like, okay, that's amazing, number one. But for some reason, it didn't invoke anything in me. It didn't make me feel like, oh, wow, that's so like, I felt like I've seen this before. I mean, this is it. I'm really confused what everyone sees in these movies, these new Spider-Man movies. I don't think it was anything great. Truly. And what do I think of what they did with John Bernthal? Well, for those of you who are not familiar with me, I think I've talked about it very little, but I don't like the Punisher TV show. I loved John Bernthal when he showed up in Daredevil. I thought he was great in that and how Daredevil was in that. But once they gave him his own TV show, I thought the TV show sucked. And I know I'm the only one who thinks that, because there was this one time I was in a comic book store buying some comics, and I was talking to some of the guys in there, and we brought up the Punisher because there was that Jason Aaron Punisher book that was coming out at that time. And I says, yeah, no, I don't like the John Bernthal Punisher. I love John Bernthal, but I don't like the way they wrote the stories for the John Bernthal Punisher TV series. I think they kind of, I don't think he's that great. And the guys in the comic store, they looked at me like I was insane. So, I mean, I'm kind of used to this now. I'm kind of used to having an opinion that most people think is insane. So it doesn't really bother me if you think that. So I'm just used to that. That's all I'm trying to say. If you want to know who I think the best Punisher is, the best live action Punisher, even though it's not a great movie, Ray Stevenson, who is one of my favorite actors. He's dead now. He's been dead, I think, a year or two. He was in The Irishman, which is a classic if you haven't seen The Irishman, 2004. Ray Stevenson, Christopher Walken, and even the guy who played the Kingpin in Daredevil, D'Onofrio, he was in The Irishman with Ray Stevenson, 2004. I highly recommend you guys check that out. So Ray Stevenson looked like the Garth Ennis Punisher come to life, and he literally looked like the Punisher from the video game that I grew up with. If you guys aren't familiar, I'll just show you a shot of that.
The ones who killed my family, the Saints, and all the other scum. They've given me a reason to live. I'm back. And it's their turn to die.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure most of you on here have played the 2005 Punisher game on PS2 and Xbox. I played the shit out of that game when I was young. me and my friend, we were just so amazed with how brutal the game was, and we just played the shit out of it. Such a memorable game. Thomas Jane is the guy who voice acts the Punisher in that particular video game, the voice that you just heard. And every time I think of the Punisher, or I read like a comic of the Punisher, I hear Thomas Jane's voiceover. Now, Ray Stevenson, he doesn't have like Thomas Jane's exact voice, but he captures the stoicism and the kind of coldness of Frank Castle, and he allows himself to get a little emotional, but not too much. John Berthenol, I hate to say it, I love Berthenol, but unfortunately, every time I see Berthenol, I still see Shane from The Walking Dead, just without the accent. I still see the same guy. Ray Stevenson had the ability. He played, when he played the Irishman, and you look at him in The Punisher and his other movies, like, he had a talent. He had a good range. Even though he played a lot of action roles, he gave a nice, distinct uniqueness to his roles. But again, like, for instance, I think the let me see if I can find like just a good example here. Like, here's Ray Stevenson here, right? He doesn't move his head around so much like John Berthenol does throughout the movie. He's a bit more stoic. He's a bit more serious. And the John Berthenol Punisher, in the movie at least, because it's a Spider-Man movie, he's very like toned down, very watered down, which I understand because it's Spider-Man. But I
What are you doing here?
I still think Ray Stevenson,
What makes you think you could come here?
was like a pretty
Shut up!
he was like
Shut
Garth
your mouth.
Ennis's Max Punisher, if you're not familiar with that. And they got the hair, everything right. He looks just like the Punisher in the Garth Ennis Max Punisher. For those of you who are not familiar with this, right? He looks a lot like him, right? And actually, he looks even beefier when you open the book. Like, when you look at the interiors of the Punisher comics, like, here's a great shot. That's in a panel, like in the first or second issue. He's like very beefy looking. So like that, and you see how the Punisher looks, he's very dark. And I don't feel that Berthenol captures that darkness. I do not like that he wears the Kevlar vest out in the open with the Punisher symbol on it. I prefer that he would wear the Kevlar vest inside, and he would have like the Punisher t-shirt over him, and he would have a leather jacket like this. I think that's the best look. I don't like the look that they've been going for in the John Berthenol stuff. But again, I'm not saying this because I hate John Berthenol. He's a great actor in his own right, but I don't like the aesthetics that they go for him. And let me just get back to the overall Spider-Man experience, if you want to call it that. I think it just spends way too much time with his friends. Spider-Man, Zendaya, and Ned, right? Whatever their fucking names are. I mean, MJ and Ned, right? I don't like Ned. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Ned, and I don't like Zendaya as Mary Jane. I think she's boring, and I think Ned is boring. I mean, after the years of, like, from the Tobey Maguire movie, his best friend being James Franco, and the Andrew Garfield movies, Dwayne, I forgot his name, but the guy who played Harry in the Andrew Garfield movie, you felt a real, like, a kind of chemistry between them. I'm not crazy about these characters, honestly. And I think dragging out the whole bullshit about how he wished himself to be forgotten as Peter Parker and all this nonsense, and, you know, he's like, alone in this movie, watching them live their life without him. It was cringe. It was boring. And as they were dragging these scenes out throughout, inside I'm saying to myself, come on, can we get with the movie now? Can we get with it? And you know what? It takes the movie a very long time to pick up. I mean, even the way the movie starts, it just doesn't do anything for me. And by the time it picks up, if you even want to say it picks up, is when he has the fight with the Hulk, and Jean Grey is more like revealing herself, and she tries to control Bruce Banner and fight Spider-Man. That fight was really good with the Hulk. It was really good. But again, then after the fight with the Hulk, it goes back to like a really low. And I just can't stand like the dialogue, man. I mean, Tom Holland has the same fucking face throughout. He's not expressive at all. So neither is Zendaya. So when you put them together, it's like boring. You know, I was trying not to go to sleep. Now, I just feel like fucking I didn't care about Jean Grey at all. And and the buildup for Jean Grey was completely out of nowhere. And spoiler, they give her like a sister that you find out Damage Control, which is like this organization that we find out about, killed her sister because they were trying to figure out how to do something with her powers. But like there was absolutely no buildup at all. And you know, I heard people in the room, like older people, like there was an older guy, nice guy, looked like a nice guy with his wife. I'm not trying to be mean, but like he was like genuinely excited about, you know, the reveal of Jean Grey. And I'm like, I don't know. Am I just from another planet? Because this is not doing anything for me. Because second of all, I guess I already have this bias. I've been sick and tired of the X-Men for a very long time. I have been sick and tired of the Jean Grey trope for a very long time. Raven does it better and has a better backstory, cooler powers, and a better overall design. No offense. And Jean Grey is, I'm just sick of her. I was expecting to see Scott and Logan show up any minute and like have their triangle, their love triangle, and fight over her. No, I mean, I'm kidding about that. But like the fact that I kept saying to myself, like, when's the big bad coming? When's the big villain coming? And I was saying to my friend, like, yo, bro, isn't there going to be a villain in this? And he's like, well, there is. It's the guy who runs Damage Control. And I'm like, I guess. I mean, but I mean like a big bad villain. This is a superhero movie, right? You know, I mean, Fantastic Four, we get Galactus, all the other movies. We get like Thanos, Winter Soldier when he was evil, Red Skull, fucking, you know, you go Abomination in the Edward Norton Hulk movie. Iron Man was Jeff Bridges' character. Even Iron Man 2, even though that was a bad movie, you know, you had Mickey Rourke. Iron Man 3, I guess the villain was himself because his suits turned on him, and the Mandarin. Would you count the Mandarin as a villain? I mean, even it is the Mandarin at least. So even though it's not like the actual fucking Mandarin from the comics, who's actually pretty cool, it's still like technically the villain from the comic. So that's even like the worst Iron Man movie has a villain. Who else? What you know, you go down the list. Thor. Well, I guess Dark World is for, we could forget about that movie. Ragnarok was his sister from hell. You know, sorry that I'm drawing these blanks a little bit. You know, I'm a little tired. It's late at night right now. But this movie had no main villain, guys. There was no main villain. I mean, I guess it was Jean, even though her drive was to find out where her sister was, and then she finds out that they killed her, and she almost destroys the city with her powers, and she loses control, and Spidey has to save her. I don't know, dude. You know,
I need a drink.
I just feel like I got jerked off with this movie, and I feel like a lot of people are not going to admit this. I saw Critical Drinker make a video out of it. He actually had some of the points that I had, but he gave it a thumbs up, and he said it was a solid, safe movie. I guess. I thought it was pretty fucking boring. You're never gonna see me turn this movie on again to watch it at home. Not even for shits and giggles. Like, you know, like Supergirl is so terrible. Like, I would just watch it, like, just to see how terrible it is again. You know what I'm saying? But I was bored of it. I was bored of that too. But I was pretty bored with, like, this felt boring. And the fight scenes were good. The Hulk scene, I'm disappointed because I thought the Hulk was going to be a little bit more integral to the story, but he wasn't. And it was all right. You know, the fight was cool. But the more I think about it, it wasn't great. And first of all, like I said, they tease you with Scorpion and Tombstone. And first of all, Scorpion's design is terrible. The Max Gorgon Scorpion, for like, even in the PlayStation games, was fucking badass and as accurate as you could get. And it was even the Spider-Man 1 game from like 2002 that I grew up with had a semi-accurate Scorpion suit in the fucking game. No, what did they do with this? It's just a guy in a suit that looks like it's from Crisis, you know? And you could see his face and his head. And then Tombstone shows up, and like, literally Tombstone was just in it for like 10 seconds. And he was already defeated and already arrested by Spider-Man. Like, they just throw everything at you, and it doesn't mean anything. And I think they try too hard to be unconventional. And it's a superhero movie, but it's not a superhero movie. Like, they're trying too hard to make it like a mystery, and it honestly feels like it should have been a TV show. You know, because you had absolutely no build up for Jean. She just comes out of nowhere. Everything, it's just so stupid. And it doesn't work out with Zendaya, MJ, Mary Jane. She doesn't fall back in love with Peter because she doesn't remember anything. But he becomes friends with Ned again at the end of the movie, which I don't give a fuck about. And again, dude, like, there was just there's this one woman that he was talking to who was like, I guess, the police commissioner or something. And he was like talking to her over the phone like a million times. And I was so fucking boring. And I'm like, really? And Yelena shows up for some reason. And he's talking to Yelena through the computer. And she's like in a sauna, which is her office. And I guess I'm supposed to find it like cute and funny. But it just feels like, why is Yelena here? Why is she here? Why is he talking to this police commissioner over the phone? Like, I'm supposed to take this like this is you know, the relationship between Batman and Commissioner Gordon. And I wasn't buying it at all. And it just felt too much like a video game. It didn't really feel like a movie. It didn't feel like a cinematic experience. It felt like I was sitting through like cut scenes for a video game. I know people are going to glaze this hard. And I don't care. Glaze it all you want. But it wasn't that good. So, like, again, they shove this version of Jean Grey down your throat. Like, you're supposed to feel so sorry for her. He tries, you know, when he's talking her out of being, like, doing all these things. And I don't feel anything, dude. The buildup was not there. And secondly, I'm already coming in with, like, when I'm like, oh my God, are they really doing this? Are they really injecting Jean Grey into Spider-Man? I mean, is it not enough? Is it not enough that we had her in the Fox movies, in the prequel movies, and then we had Dark Phoenix, which I just avoided like a fucking sore? Is that not enough? Now she has to take over Spider-Man's movie? So it didn't even feel like a Spider-Man movie. It didn't even feel like a Jean movie. It just felt like a movie that has just too much shit going on at once. If this is the movie that everybody is going to bank on and they're going to accept this, do you think Doomsday is going to be good? I don't know. I'm just getting kind of tired that people are finding this stuff passable. I mean, it was okay. I was bored though most of the time. The only scenes that really got my juices flowing were like when Hulk came out and was almost about to like fucking fuck up Spider-Man, but it wasn't long enough. It was very fast. And yeah, I'm underwhelmed, or as they would say in Young Justice, I'm whelmed. I'm whelmed, right? I just, it was a big nothing burger. I'm just so tired of the X-Men. Why did they have to have Jean in here? Why? I can't stand the X-Men anymore. I don't know why all of you still like it. Are you even reading the new stuff? Like, do you not see how bad the comics have been for the past, like, 4 or 5 years? Probably longer, though. I tried reading, like, even Jed McKay's run. It was terrible. I tried reading Gail Simone's take on Rogue and everything. It was all right, but it lost steam by issue 15. So I guess all of you guys who are enjoying it are just hardcore X-Men fans. And I guess you're enjoying this new bad stuff. I don't know. I don't know where this X-Men crap is coming out of all of a sudden. Why we need more of this shit now. I've seen enough of Jean. And again, it literally didn't do anything for me. I didn't care who she was. Like, literally, it's just like, I already know who you are. And you're obviously not even doing a whole, like, my friend's like, oh, they mixed it up a bit. I'm like, yeah, she's young. She has a sister now. But it's the same fucking trope where, oh, Jean is about to go fucking batshit crazy and we need to calm her down. Like, dude, I'm just tired of that. So, like, also we have to talk about the Man Spider bullshit where Peter is like, for some reason, his anxiety is making him like lose control of his powers. And he's like, his arachna bullshit is getting worse. And, they tease the idea that he'll become Man Spider. He doesn't. And all that happens is his senses overload and he's stronger than he usually is. And there's a scene where he fights the ninjas at the end of the movie in the prison or wherever to get to Jean Grey. And he takes his inhibitor off that was preventing it from getting worse. And he embraces it. And like they show like a shuriken pass his face. And as it's passing his face, it's in slow motion. Like, you remember that scene in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie where Flash punches Spider-Man? Like, you see the fist coming up at the camera. And then you see like Tobey like, and he's like watching the fist like, huh, wow, I'm really fast. Look how fast I am. His punch is so slow to me. So like they did the same thing at this scene where the shuriken from the ninja is passing his face. And I'm like, but wait a minute. Doesn't he already have that ability? I mean, he already is faster than he already has these abilities. Like they're making like, oh wow, look, he could see the shuriken to him look so slow now to him. Like, but he already has that ability. So I'm not actually sure what the Man Spider bullshit is about. I thought it was going to be a play on like him becoming a monster or something. And maybe the Punisher would have to like help fight him like in the animated series or the comics. No, they don't even have like, you know what I said to my friend? I said, it would have been cool. Do you remember in Batman versus Superman where Batman had a nightmare while he was sleeping and Man-Bat like came out of nowhere at him? It was either while he was sleeping or while he was visiting the cemetery of his parents. I'm like, if they at least did like a nightmare sequence of Spider-Man like transforming into Man Spider, that would have been cool. But they don't do anything like that. They don't do anything here, actually. And to me, it looks like they're covering up a lot of shit because they're like filling in the movie with like over exposition, too much dialogue, and fitting in screen time for too many people that honestly, I just don't give a fuck about anybody in this movie.
I am now master of the world.
Look, I don't care if you're master of Meldon's supermarket.
Right, like, I mean, that was how I felt. Like I don't care who you are. I don't care about Jean. I don't care about Spidey. I don't care that he's feeling this way about his friends, that he made a wish with Doctor Strange and he regrets it and he's feeling lonely. I don't care. This is draggy. It's sappy, and not the good kind of sappy. It's kind of like, you know, I mean, I guess the kids will like this. I guess the older adults will like this, but it was cringe. I just wanted it to be over. I just wanted it to be over. You know what I mean, dude? Like, I just wanted to zoop out of the movie and be done with it.
Hey, that's city property! So, I'm a taxpayer.
But no, dude. So, like, and secondly, when he gets those powers as Man Spider to fight the Naruto wannabe cosplayer ninjas that were fucking stupid, I'll be honest with you. It was fucking stupid. I was kind of like, but he already has the ability to fight off these ninjas. And so throughout the movie, Spider-Man is a complete fucking idiot. He's an irredeemable idiot. If you only watched the Tom Holland Spider-Mans, never read any of the comics, never watched any other iteration of him, you would think that Spider-Man is a bumbling idiot who just runs into shit and fucking is retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the intellectual who could talk to Bruce Banner and then talk about, like, oh, well, your inhibitor with the gamma rays and the shut the fuck up. Shut up. And like everyone in this, all the dialogue for everybody, it's like nobody sounds unique. Everybody just has over exposition. Everybody is just like, look how smart I am. Between his friend Ned, when he's talking to him, he's like talking all this shit in the apartment when he comes in as Spider-Man before he reveals himself to Ned at the end. Like when he sees him for the first time in the spider suit because he saved him, he helped Mary Jane. Like Ned is talking all this bullshit, and then Mary Jane is like, when she helps him figure out how to use his inhibitor, she's like, oh, well, I went to I'm biologist and I'm a genius basically, and I can figure this out. And oh, look at that, Mary Jane figured it out before Peter fucking Parker did. Did anybody notice that? Really? You're telling me that Mary Jane would have figured that out before Peter Porker? Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. You just don't want to see how bad this movie was. You know, you're just going to glaze it. You're going to glaze that movie. You're going to slather it up and you're going to swallow it whole. And, you know, God bless. God bless. We live in a free country. You got every right to say that this is the greatest thing ever. And this is the best version of Spider-Man we ever got. You got every right to say that, but I have every right myself, on the other hand, to say this movie sucked. These Spider-Man movies have been cringe. I just can't. I don't know what people see in these movies. I'm sorry. You know? The only good thing is they're breaking him off with Zendaya. So that's good, I guess. But do I care that they're going to make a Secret Wars or a Doomsday this year? Really? Oh, and by the way, they didn't make any Doomsday connections. They didn't show us any more about what we might expect from Doomsday. So what am I supposed to be excited about? And they have a secret ending, like way at the end of the credits, like way at the bottom of the credits, and it's nothing. It's just like a GPS tracking Spider-Man, and it shows you a Spider-Man in the middle of space, and I'm like, the fuck is that supposed to mean? And luckily the guy who was with his wife knew it. He heard. I said to my friend, I'm like, I don't understand, what's that? And my friend didn't know either. But luckily the guy next to us said, oh, it's Battle Worlds. And he said it to me like I'm supposed to know what it is, and I just said like, oh wow, cool. But then I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I guess this is also because I'm a DC fan, and I just read more of the DC stuff, with the exception of I love Fantastic Four comics. I read a lot of those. And I mean, I read the classic Marvel stuff, the old Marvel stuff, but I mean, I'm not as dedicated to like the new Marvel stuff at all. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Except Fantastic Four, I like. So, you know, I'm sure that guy sounded like he probably reads the comics too. So good for him that he found some value and enjoyment out of this. But I just don't understand why anybody is excited about it, because, I mean, how many times have we seen Jean Grey played out? I don't understand why Jean Grey I don't understand why you guys genuinely, tell me in the comments why Jean Grey still turns you on. And I'm not judging you, because, you know, you could say the same thing to me, like, why do you like Supergirl? Why do you like this? Why do you like that? Sure. But you got to admit, Jean has been in the movies. She had her own movie, Dark Phoenix. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, you can't say that she hasn't had her spotlight. So why are we going back to Jean Grey and letting her literally take the spotlight of the movie? And I guess she's like this semi-antagonist, which is retarded. So instead of having a main villain, which we should have had, maybe even Sinister Six, you know what I mean? None of that. We don't get any of that. And I think people are going to be like, this is the greatest Spider-Man because it's so complex. It's got so much going on. It fits in all these characters in it. But I'm going to say that's what makes it shit, because it's all over the place. It's too long. It takes too long to get to the point, which really, even once you get to the point, it's like, that's it. That's the best you've got. I don't know, guys. I think people are deluding themselves about Marvel. In my previous videos, though, I said that Marvel is going to obviously destroy DC. They know how to win audiences. They obviously got everybody bulldozed. They got everybody bullshitted. You guys are all still swallowing the Marvel pill. I guess you're all still on it. I've kind of got off it a while ago. But I had a great night. Don't get me wrong. It was cool hanging out with my friend, cool talking to him about it. He told me why he liked it, and he was open with listening to why I didn't like it. And it was great to talk to somebody about it like that, and usually you can't talk to people like this. So I got a friend who's open, and he's listens to my side of it, and then he tells me his arguments, and he has good points to it, you know. But his points didn't like convince me that, oh no, I'm wrong, this was a really good movie. Like, I still kind of feel like, wow, that was completely underwhelming, draggy. And like, I just kept saying to myself throughout the movie, like, God damn, dude, get with it. Are we done yet? God damn, how long is this movie? God damn. It was the same feeling. And you can't say, oh, well, you're a DC fan. No. To me, if something is bad to me, it's just bad. Supergirl is terrible, and you all know I'm a hardcore Supergirl fan. I love her comics, like, I'm hardcore. But I had the same feelings I had when I watched Supergirl, same thing here. I kept saying to myself, this is so boring. Come on, are we done yet? Oh, I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, guys, but seriously, I don't understand why I'm the only one who seems to feel this way about this stuff. You know? And even not just the Spider-Man stuff, even the John Bernthal Punisher. I am not impressed with that. As much as I love John Bernthal, I don't know why everybody likes his Punisher. It's like a watered down Punisher. Disneyfied. He was great in Daredevil in the Netflix series. Fantastic. But once they made a standalone series, they kind of cucked him, in my opinion. His dialogue sucked. His whole journey sucked. No one's going to listen to this because everybody just wants to hear how great this movie was. And a lot of people are probably going to get offended by this. Fine. I don't care. But these are my genuine thoughts. This is how I felt throughout the movie. Jean Grey is a shit character. I don't care if any of you guys hate me for saying that. She's overused. She's a living cliche. She's boring. I don't care about her in any iteration anymore. They've completely sapped anything I might have liked about her in the past. I don't care about her anymore. Tom Holland, not a good actor. And I don't care that he's not American and he can hold an American accent. Big whoop. You want to talk about great actors? Christian Bale, Robert Downey Jr., you go down the list, Clint Eastwood, but Al Pacino. You're not going to convince me anytime soon about Tom Holland. And I don't care that he's been in all the Spider-Man movies. He was on Uncharted. I just don't care, dude. Like, I don't know why everybody likes him. He doesn't bring anything to the table for me. You know, the scenes where he's got the same, face, and he's like, his eyes are like crocodile tears when it's like an emotional scene. It's like cringe. It's like, I'm like embarrassed for him. I'm like, oh, dude, this is hard to watch. You know? Like, I mean, say what you want about Andrew Garfield. That, everybody says the same thing. Worst Peter Parker, great Spider-Man for Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire, best Peter Parker, worst Spider-Man. And I don't know what people say about Tom Holland, but I think he's not only the worst Peter Parker, he's the worst Spider-Man. I'm serious, because one, he's an idiot. In every facet of life, in all the movies, he's a fucking idiot. I mean, the fact that he makes a wish with Doctor Strange like that, fucking retard. He gets Aunt May killed. And I don't care how they cover it up with the emotions and the drama and, the regret, the guilt, and how he wants to make up for it. And, wasn't it enough that he was responsible for Uncle Ben getting killed? Isn't that enough? Now, at this point, they, when they killed off Melissa Tomei, who was not a good Aunt May, sorry. It was his fault 100%. And it's like, when it happened, it was like, you're a fucking retarded Spider-Man. You're a fucking retarded Peter Parker. I don't care that he used the gadgets and the gear shit. I never liked him from the beginning because of his dependency on Iron Man. Peter Parker in the comics was not dependent on Iron Man, bro. Nobody cared about him. He was making his own inventions on his own, figuring things out on his own. He was a lone wolf for a while, and even when he would team up with people, he was a pain in the ass. People couldn't stand him. He just did things on his own. So as soon as Tom Holland came in on Civil War, and he was like, oh, Mr. Stark. And Tony's like, I'm going to do everything for you. I'm going to buy your college. I'm going to give you all this money. I'm going to make your suits. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make you who you are. It was like, you've completely lost the point on Spider-Man. I'd like to know what Steve Ditko would say about that. Is he still alive? Is Steve Ditko still alive? Steve Ditko. All right, so he died in 2018. So did Civil War come out in 2018? Steve Ditko. Did he like Tom Holland Spider-Man? Did he say anything about it? Let's see what he said. Steve Ditko, the co-creator of Spider-Man, passed away in 2018 before Tom Holland took on the role of Spider-Man. Therefore, he did not have the opportunity to express his all right, so actually I'm curious now, what did he say about Andrew Garfield and Toby? First we'll look up Andrew Garfield. There's no public record of the Andrew Garfield one. Ditko was known for being reclusive and rarely commented on adaptations of his work. I know that, but I thought maybe there'd be something. I know Steve Ditko wasn't like that, I know, but I mean, did he say even a little bit of something? Anything? Wow. No, I didn't ask if he worked on it. Did he like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man? Is there anything about that? I guess not. I know you keep wondering, like, why am I bringing up Steve Ditko? I mean, he was pretty big on, like, individualism. He was heavily inspired by Ayn Rand. So I don't know. I can't read his mind. But I think he would kind of agree with me that Spider-Man would not be Iron Man's biatch. He would not be letting Daddy Tony do everything for him. I'm just saying. And, you know, my friend made the point that, well, he likes Tom Holland because he said he started him off as Spider-Man when he was 18. How old was Tom Holland when he first starred as Spider-Man? I didn't know this, actually, when he told me this. So he was 19. So he said he likes it because he naturally aged as Spider-Man, which is cool. But I don't like Tom Holland's face. He's too boyish. You know what I'm saying? He's too boyish for me. Like, you look at the Spider-Man, Peter Parker, 1961, right? When I just want to get like look at this face, right? Like, I mean, I know it's a cartoon, it's comic drawing. That was the overall like look of the drawings back then. And then you look at this guy. I just, you know, like even though Tobey Maguire kind of had that, like, you know, that boyish face a little bit, I don't know, dude. It just worked. It worked. And Andrew Garfield, say what you want about Andrew Garfield. What I was going to say about Andrew Garfield was, even though his Peter Parker was the worst one, it was still a good Peter Parker because, like, I liked actually how he handled the ladies. I liked how he was with Gwen because, you know, I'm tired a bit about like how Spider-Man is so awkward with the girls, like how he was with Zendaya specifically throughout the movies. And even in this, like the cringe, I don't like the way he acts with the ladies. Andrew Garfield, his Spidey was more of a ladies' man. Now, Peter Parker was kind of like in that Tom Holland field a little bit, but the way Tobey Maguire acted was more charming, and it was funnier, and it was like the way Tobey acts, it's different. It's his eyes. Tobey's eyes are very, very expressive, and the way his face is in his mouth, dude, it's like funny as fuck. Tom just doesn't have that. I mean, he just looks like a living mannequin. See, like, there's Tobey. Here's Tom. He just doesn't do it for me, man. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I can't break down the science on why Tom Holland's face just doesn't do it for me for Spider-Man. Sorry to break it to you. And why Tobey Maguire works. And Andrew Garfield, you know, I think he's like he looks a lot like the Ultimate Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, right? I mean, even though he's got like the curly hair that sticks up, he's kind of a little bit more lanky and more of a ladies' dude. And I love his, like, the way he interacts with Gwen through in the movies. And so I like Andrew Garfield a lot, you know. And if you look up Ultimate comic, I'll just put that in Peter Parker. No, Peter Parker, not the new ones, which are good. Those are good, actually. I was reading those for a while. All right, here's a good shot. This is a rough. Yeah, like, I mean, okay, no, maybe not exactly. Maybe Andrew Garfield, not exactly. But, like, you know, I would place him as the Ultimate Spider-Man. And I would place Tobey as the mainline Amazing Spider-Man. And Tom Holland, well, he'll just be the Zeb Wells Spider-Man because, frankly, the Zeb Wells Spider-Man is a cuck and a total fucking idiot. So I guess Tom Holland is a representation of the cucked modern-day Spider-Man comic. I'm saying it, man. Yeah, for real. Zeb Wells completely cucked Spidey. You know he did. So that's just my thoughts on that. And I know everyone's going to hate me for saying this stuff about the Punisher, about the new Spider-Man movie. You know, like on that latest X-Men video I did, like someone was like, these are bad takes. They're not takes, man. They're opinions. This is the same thing. You might not like it, but this is my genuine opinion. I'm not trying to, rev up people. I'm not trying to just figure out how to get views and get attention to piss people off. Like, this is my genuine feeling about the movie. It's like that's it. I'm not gonna glaze it because that's gonna help me algorithmically. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if nobody watches this movie. This is my channel, and I'm gonna put what I believe and what I feel on my fucking channel, right? I'm not making money off of this anyway, so why do I have to appease to anybody? I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for why I love comics and what I believe makes them great, what doesn't, what makes them tick. And this movie did not pass the snip test. Not at all. I think this movie sucks. It's going to be glazed because, well, let's be frank, it's Spider-Man. And people are still on that Marvel pill. They have not weaned themselves off of the MCU. And that's that. That's just how I feel. Holy shit, guys. I was not expecting this video to be this long, but I had all this in my head. I wanted to record this. I'm a little tired, so that's why it probably took me a little bit longer to get to the points. I was hanging out with my friend. We watched it from 6:30. We got there. Then there were the commercials. I was surprised. I thought there was going to be like a new commercial for like the Doomsday or anything. Nothing. So the movie was about till 9, I think. We came to my house, we hung out for a bit, ate, looked at some scenes of Age of Ultron. We actually looked at the Hulk scene of Age of Ultron when Iron Man was fighting him in the Hulkbuster. And even my friend was like, oh my God, dude, this scene was so much better than the Hulk scene in the Spider-Man movie. And the more he thought about it, I didn't say any more about it. We were just talking about like the Hulk and some plot holes. And he said, the more I think about like the Hulk parts, I don't like it at all. They screwed the writing up big time. You could ask my friend about it. Maybe one day I'll get my friend to do a talk on here, and we, because he has his own opinions, and he's actually really he's got his own ideas and stuff, and I think he's a good talker. So I think he'd be a good like guy to have on my channel once in a while. We could like talk shit out, have different opinions. It might spice it up a bit. He's got his own mind. I like that about him a lot. But yeah, anyway, guys, you know what, look, sorry if I pissed you guys off. Sorry if you guys think like, oh, this guy is just a jerk. He doesn't like anything, but just trying to look at it from my perspective. Like, I mean, I'm not lying to you. This is really how I feel. And I'm not doing this to piss you off. I'm really not, but I want you to talk to me in the comments, please. Tell me why you liked it. Tell me why you didn't like it. Tell me why it didn't make you feel anything. Tell me why it made you feel everything. I'm not going to shit on you if you have a different opinion than me. I want you to talk to me. Like there's people who do their comments and they just make a one-liner because they're not actually listening to what I'm trying to say. They don't care. They just think I'm doing this for views, to piss people off. I'm not. Like, why can't we just have a genuine discussion about this? Like, I'm sure even those people who are going to glaze this movie, I'm sure you could see some of my points. No? Okay, guys, I think I made my point. I'm getting tired. I got to go to work tomorrow. It's fucking late. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment as you see fit. and have a good night.
I need a drink.